So today, I'm going to show you how you can customize your Wealthfront investment portfolio and therefore create more flexibility, allowing you to invest according to your beliefs and even take on more risk with exposure to things like crypto. This is all part of a newer set of features we offer called portfolio customization. We've expanded our investment offerings over the last year to make it easier for you to build wealth on your own terms. As you probably know, we previously only offered preset portfolios based on your risk tolerance and didn't allow much flexibility from there. But more recently, we've seen the level of investing knowledge and appetite for different investments among our clients grow immensely, and we want to help you think about your options in the right way. We no longer want to take that paternalistic approach, basing most of our recommendations just on your risk tolerance and assume that you're set from there. So now, you can do everything from making tiny tweaks to our classic portfolio all the way to building a portfolio entirely from scratch. Our research team has done the heavy lifting to vet hundreds of ETFs across multiple sectors for you to choose from. And you can still take advantage of tax loss harvesting on your custom portfolio as long as you choose ETFs that have the TLH counterparts. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you can even get crypto exposure through Wealthfront. So the choice is really yours based on what you're most interested in. Okay, now let's hop into a product demo here to show you how this all works. So we're gonna start with the classic portfolio. This is the bread and butter of Wealthfront, right? This is what Wealthfront has been offering since basically day one. What we do is we ask you a series of questions: subjective, objective, willingness to take risk, right? We assess that risk and give you a score between 0.5 to 10. And then we assign you asset classes, certain target portfolios from there. So what we do is we basically start by clicking into your investment account, and you'll see you have the general account overview. You'll see the different asset classes along with their current and target allocations. And then what we'll do is we'll go down to click Edit Portfolio at the bottom. And as you can see, we have your risk score still assigned. Again, this is the classic portfolio. We have a risk score out of 10. And from here, you can simply if you just wanted to decrease the risk score, you'd click that. Increase the risk score, you'd click that. It's very simple. But what we're gonna start out is we're going to edit investments. So what you do is you come over here and click this little link on the right side. And then what you'll see is you now can simply move the allocations for each asset class to the left or right to decrease or increase exposure within the asset classes. So you can simply customize by doing this. If you want to have the classic portfolio allocations, but just change the percentages in each one, or simply just one, you can do that. Today, however, we're gonna go in and add investment. So you'll scroll to the bottom and click Add Investment. And then from there, you'll see kind of the broad range of asset classes that we now offer in the Browse Investments page. Starting with US stock ETFs, right? There's hundreds of those. There's bond ETFs, all the way down to the tech innovation ETFs. We also even offer socially responsible ETFs. A few years back, we started hearing from more and more clients about how they wanted to actually simply be able to add investments that focused on, climate change or general SRI, or just choose a portfolio that was strictly SRI. We now offer both of those types. But if you simply have a classic portfolio and want to add investments in, you can even just choose socially responsible ETFs. So let's first start out and click into the US stock ETFs. And as you'll see, if you just simply start scrolling down, you'll see there's quite a few investments as part of this category. Now, I'm not talking about these as like a recommendation or what you should or shouldn't invest. I'm simply just highlighting the interesting ETFs, interesting investments that our clients have made. We'll highlight first ARK, ARKK. Many of you may have heard of this. This has become a really popular investment among Wealthfront clients. Basically, almost 10% of portfolios that have customized their portfolio have added ARK, ARKK Innovation ETF. And you'll see now, this is your first look at basically what an ETF page looks like when you're going to add the investment, is we give you kind of the broad history of that ETF, starting with the performance as well as the overview and description of it. We even highlight if the investment has an eligible tax loss harvesting ETF as well. We give you the current price as well as kind of your standard account page, but we do it in a way that's just easier to understand. I think all of us have been to those fun pages where you feel like there's just information overload, right? And you can never actually find what you're looking for. Here, we give you exactly what we found that our clients are really looking for, and probably even a little more, but make it easy to understand. And that's the key here. So let's say that you want to add this investment to your portfolio. What you'd simply do is click the Add to Portfolio. And then you'll see that it defaults to a 0% allocation, right? So what we need to do here is we actually want to decrease allocation to another asset class and then increase so we can add this new ETF in there. So let's just say we want to decrease the percentage to VTI. And then what we'll do then is increase it back to get to that 100% mark down below. So we'll do 5% in ARK. It's as easy as that. Decrease one, increase the other, come down here and click continue. And then I love talking about this page. So what we've done and what our product and engineering team has built is a way to help you understand how we're gonna actually transition your portfolio. Because adding investments is great, but there's a lot of tax implications and timing issues that come along with that. We now give you the option to go in and say, hey, I actually wanna transition tax efficiently, or actually, no, I'm okay with getting hit with potential taxes now. You can sell me out of those ETFs. I'd rather transition sooner. We give you the option to do both. So not only do we give you the option to add investments, we give you the flexibility to choose how you want to rebalance your portfolio. I love this part of the product. So let's just say we want to transition tax efficiently. Personally, that's how I do it. Click save, and then we'll go back and click update portfolio. And it's as simple as that. So let's go back into edit portfolio, because let's not stop there. And let's say that you want to actually go in and add another investment. You want to add direct indexing, right? So let's click into US stock ETFs, click on US direct indexing. And you'll see we kind of give an explanation here. So what direct indexing does is it actually buys the individual stocks that you would normally own in the ETF for the US portfolio. So in this case, we own VTI. That's the most common US stock ETF. Direct indexing might buy the 100 largest stocks or 500 largest stocks or so, actually own those individual stocks within the direct indexing, and then buy a few other ETFs to round out your allocation. We have another great video that goes in depth on direct indexing. We'll link that below. Feel free to check that one out after this video. You're over 100K in your taxable investment portfolio, so therefore it's ready for you to add. So you simply click add to portfolio, and then it gives you a heads up. Love this one too, right? We heard from clients that we want to better understand how we're going to transition your portfolio. Well, when you add direct indexing, there's another layer of that we have to do. And that would be eventually selling out of your main ETF, in this case VTI, and then adding in those stocks. So we'll tell you kind of that level that we'll do. We even then give you a heads up that, hey, we're going to have to sell out of VTI, right? We just talked about that. So let's say we want to add and remove the fund. All right, and again, now that you'll see it defaults to a 0%, right? Well, we had about 40% that was allocated to the US stocks previously in VTI. So let's just replace it with direct indexing. So let's simply move that to 40%. And here you have 100% allocation now, as you can see at the bottom, and you simply would click continue. But in this case, let's keep adding investments. Now you might be wondering, is there a limit on investments that you can add, or do I have to add a certain amount? No limit whatsoever. You can just change the allocation. You can simply add that one investment like we did with ARK, or you can continue with direct indexing and across the board. There's really no limit on what you can do with this. Let's highlight another investment that's been really popular in the tech sector. So in the list of investments, we'll scroll down to tech and innovation ETFs. And then in this one, I'll show you how to just simply search for it, QQQ. QQQ seeks to track the performance of the NASDAQ 100, basically the largest tech stocks on the publicly traded in the US. This one has also been really popular. It's been basically in the top 5 most popular ETFs that our clients have added. And so on this fund page, you'll see that it actually talks about that for this account, QQQ has a alternate ETF that we can use as part of tax loss harvesting, right? Because tax loss harvesting, you have to have another ETF that tracks a similar, not identical, but similar ETF to stay properly allocated. Well, in this case, we actually found one. We have right here, 1Q. All right, and we'll then click add to portfolio. And we'll increase that to 5%. What you'll see now is we're over the 100%. So let's go ahead and decrease to tax exempt bonds. All right, and let's go through a few more asset classes. Let's not stop here. Scroll down, click add investment. And something everyone's been talking about over the last couple of years, cryptocurrency. So all the bottom, cryptocurrency trust. We now offer 2 investments that give you exposure to cryptocurrency through a unit investment trust from Grayscale. Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are the 2 most popular out there that's offered. Now, the hope is that at some point, these trusts will be converted into ETFs. The timeline on that, who knows? We've done a few videos on that. We've done interviews with Grayscale on that. We're not certain on when that'll actually happen. Hopefully at that point, it'll be an easy transition. The best way to get exposure to cryptocurrency in a diversified portfolio, we have those offerings. All right, so let's say you wanna add the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Again, we show you the history, we give you a detailed overview. I think it's the perfect amount of information, not too much, not too little. Show me the price, show me the risks, show me the history, things I wanna see, but not, don't show me the historical data on every single day. I don't really care about that. Now, if you wanna see that, you can click learn more down below. and then we'll click add to portfolio. And we'll give you the heads up that cryptocurrency cannot exceed 10% of your portfolio. So click continue. And then let's just do all 10%. And then let's decrease down here. And then we're at 100%. Another fun factor on the cryptocurrency trust that we offer exposure to, pretty much a third of our clients that have customized portfolios have added the Bitcoin trust, and then a little less than that, almost 30%, have added the Ethereum trust account. So super popular with our clients, and we expect them to continue to stay that way, if not get more popular. One last thing to call out with the crypto exposure, you can also add these in IRAs. So everything we're doing, you can do in your IRAs as well. But having crypto exposure in an IRA can be valuable for some younger investors, so something to consider there as well. And then the last one, we'll go back down to add investment. And let's talk about the socially responsible ETFs. Our clients have been asking for this for years, right? How can I invest socially responsible, but also make sure that I'm getting the proper returns that I would in a regular portfolio? Well, now we have a wide variety of ETFs that you can choose to add to this classic portfolio. And again, you can also create your own portfolio, just SRI. But in this case, let's add one ETF from this, and let's do ICLN. iShares Global Clean Energy ETF, one of the most popular social responsible ETFs here. And just like you've seen a few times now, click add to portfolio. What you'll do is you'll increase the allocation here. Let's do 5%. Then let's decrease from the US. All right, and another thing to highlight here is the risk factor. So again, remember before how you had this risk and it was actually a number out of 10. I think we had 8 or 8.5. Well, we still give you kind of an assessment, a risk assessment of, hey, maybe this is too risky, not risky enough. And you can just simply click that tooltip there and we'll tell you kind of why we feel like it's too risky. So you can then check risk level again if you'd like, or you can simply just exit out and feel free to proceed. And again, another thing worth highlighting is tax loss harvesting. A lot of our ETFs do offer a counterpart ETF that allows you to also continue to harvest losses when available with those ETFs. But just keep that in mind, that if tax loss harvesting is maybe your number one concern, maybe you choose ETFs that only offer the counterpart. Or if getting crypto exposure is your number one concern. We've now shown you how to do that as well. There's a variety of ways that you can customize your portfolio. All right, and then once you're done, you click continue, update portfolio. Again, we give you that transition preference like we talked about before. All right, let's say you don't have a classic portfolio. You wanna start with a customized portfolio from scratch. You have the option to choose classic, socially responsible, or direct indexing. In this case, let's choose socially responsible. Let's say you wanna do all SRI. You click on SRI and we've already have a preset portfolio. Similar to the way that we had our classic portfolios, we also have a broad range of SRI portfolios that use a lot of the ETFs that we talked about earlier to build that in. And you can decrease the risk from there or increase, however you wanna do that, and proceed that way. This allows you to not have to go in and maybe add each individual asset class. And the other option is, let's say you wanted to start with the direct indexing portfolio. Maybe that's why you came to Wealthfront, through direct indexing. So you'd simply click direct indexing there, and then we build out the same type of classic portfolio, but then we make sure that you're automatically invested in direct indexing when you hit 100K. In each of these ways to get started, you can start from scratch by editing investments from there. So all the customization that we showed earlier, all the ways to customize your portfolio, you can do in the account sign up as well. You have the option to even allocate a 100% of your portfolio to, let's say, direct indexing. It's something popular we've heard from a lot of clients over the last few years. They've been asking for it. We now offer it for it. I think one thing you'll see in this video is that we listen to our clients. We listen to prospects and what they want more out of Wealthfront. We listen to our clients and what they want as a client. Thanks for joining our tutorial on customization. We'll see you soon.